Hi everyone, so in this video we're going to learn about the pores, we're going to learn about the off-sheet connector, we're also going to learn a little advanced thing about it net levels, okay? We've been learning about the directives in the previous videos. So now think about this, think about we are advancing ourselves, okay? And we have been designing the whole sheet with tons of circuitry and we don't have any page left. What you can do? We can just go to the second page, right? Just like we do in our exams. So we just start filling our first page and we still have to fill our answers. We go to the second page. The same thing happened in the Altium Designer as well. And there's many ways you can do it. So probably you might be thinking, oh, remember we did this net level thing? Maybe we can do the same thing. Maybe. All right, let's see how we can do it. So let's go to nets. Maybe let's create a, okay, I do have a. Okay, let's just use it as a here. So a. Now I want to go to the second page. So I'm going to the second page. And now I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to use the same a here. Oopsies, here we go. Net levels a here. I'm getting the error. It's not really working. See, I'm getting the error. But don't get tricked or don't get fooled by that. The only reason I'm getting an error here, the only reason I'm getting error in both of them is because the way my project has been set. So if I go here, if I go to the project, if I go to the project option, and if I'm in the option setting right now, you can see that I'm in a flat design mode. And I hope you know flat design mode, or if you don't, it basically means that you are designing without considering any kind of hierarchy. So you basically doing the old style design, like you have two parent paper and you are just drawing them. So let's just explain it a little bit more. So think about it, you don't have any block diagram, okay? You're just basically creating pages to do your design. So what I can do about that is that I can pull up the Altium. Here you go. This is probably a great example. So this is an example of a hierarchical design, and as you can see, we have a parent sheet, okay? This is basically the top level design. And inside of the top level design, this has a child, okay? And this one also has a child. This one has a child. This one has a child. And this is known as a hierarchical design. And we're not going to do hierarchical design right now. We are basically doing the flat design. This is what we're trying to do. So in the flat design, you may have a top level design, but it doesn't really do anything. You can just like draw some boxes, or you can probably like help people to show how your design is working. It doesn't really do anything to the child. It doesn't affect it. But a hierarchical design does affect the child, and these are the children's, okay? So in the flat level design, the net levels are not global. The only pores are global. So we're going to talk about pores. And also the off-sheet connector are also global, I believe, but we're going to check it together, okay? But if I go and make it to like an automatic or even the global, then I will hopefully get rid of this error. So the automatic, yes, and I did got rid of the error when I made it to the automatic. And if I go to the project again, and if I want to make it to a global, I also don't see any error, and I'm not seeing any kind of error right now. So net levels helps to shift the pages, to shift the different kind of sheets, but it's not that too helpful. So how can we advance ourselves? We can learn about the off-sheet connector. So now if I go here and if I create off-sheet connector, and the way I kind of want to visualize the off-sheet connector is like I'm going from left to right, like a page. I'm trying the pages. So if I double click here, this is my sheet 1, by the way. This is my sheet 1. So I want to go to the right. I want to say, let's go to right. This is how I try to visualize this. It might be wrong. It might be not wrong. I barely use off-sheet connector. I probably have used it for like a 1 or 2 design, and I'll just try to think off-sheet connector as like I'm trying to move the pages, okay? So now I'm going to go to this sheet 2 and I'm going to click on the off-sheet connector again, and I'm going to just click here and I'm going to finish this circuit. Now you can see that I'm getting a reference that, okay, this is connected to the sheet 1. Now if I click here, probably now I can able to see this thing. All right, here we go. Now I can see that there's a sheet 1 and sheet 2 are connected. If I go to the sheet 1, I can see that it's connected to the sheet 2. So now if I want to update the design, I might see a net level, or sorry, I might see some nets that are connecting to each other. So let's see this. So yes, I do see offsheet here. I do see offsheet here. So they are working. They are working. That's good. That's good. But guess what? Offsheet connector only good for a flat level design. It's not really that good for hierarchical design. You don't want to use an offsheet connector in a hierarchical design. Just don't use it. So the more advanced, the ultimate, and the great entire way of basically creating nets, or maybe whatever it is basically the port. I think port is probably the best. Port can create a flat level design, port can create a hierarchical level design, but also ports are messy. They are not always nice to have. You always don't want to have ports all the time. So if I pull up this design again, and if I want to just show you some of the pictures, here we go. This is a great picture. So now you can see this is a port, this is a port, this is a port. These 4 of them are also port, and each of the port are referencing to the child. The only way you can create a reference, a cross-reference from a top-level sheet design to a child is only using a port. This is a very important thing to know, okay? So this is how the port is get created. Now, we can also do a strict hierarchy, where you have to manually connect the wire for your power net. So let's go to see a power net option. I believe they do have a power net option. By the way, you can also create a multi-sheet like this, which we're going to talk about in the next video, or you can just come here and read this, but we're still going to make a video to talk more about the ports. I believe they do talk about the power nets. I think is way down. Here we go. Okay, here we go. So you can also localize your power net. So think about it, you have different kind of power requirements and you want to use them for different things. So for in this case, the 5-volt is connecting to the 5-volt, although they are the same thing, or they might not be the same thing, but sometimes you're trying to localizing your 3-volt here, 5-volt here. You can then make a strict design where you have to manually kind of like create the wire. So here you go. So they must have manually wired together. So we're not really going into it today. We're just going to talk about the ports. So now how can we create ports, and what are the conditions to create a port? A port has a conditions, some kind of formulas, not a formulas, some kind of conditions, okay? So this is a port. We call them unspecified, means it doesn't know what it's trying to do, okay? But you can really tell them what to do. You can say that you are an output, you are an input, you are a bidirectional. Let's go for bidirectional, okay? And change it. Now we're gonna create the same name port to the sheet 2, and also can say that you are also a bidirectional. Let's go here. Let's go to port. Let's create here. Let's just make it a bidirectional. And the reason I'm making both of them bidirectional, it has a reason, okay? And I can see that this is connecting to the sheet 1, right? If you have a port and if it's like an output, so you can see an error popping up. You can either if you make this one output, you have to make the sheet 1 port as an input. So you have to maintain this thing. Now the error has been gone, okay? The error has been gone in both of the design. Also, you can use the port to name your nets. I believe is on the project option, and here you go. Allow ports to name nets. You can also turn it on, and it will name your nets based on the ports. But we're not gonna do it for now because we're just doing a simple design. And based on the port, we can technically take it to our main level design, which we're going to talk about in the next video. It's already been 10 minutes, I believe, so we better not talk too much. And if I miss some point in this video, we can go ahead and cover it up in the next video. But please make sure that you understand this Net Identifier Scope. They do matters. There's many different kind of design you can do, so make sure that you understand that which are globals, which are locals, and they does matter. Thanks for watching the video, and I will see you in the next video.